Hey there, it's Jen and I'm back for Hip Kit Club with a video inspired by today's mood board, or this month's mood board. And I love the mood board. There's lots of awesome stuff on it. Hopefully you can see it here on my phone. I love this right here a lot, but what I'm gonna take inspiration from is this little banner with hearts punched out of it. So I have my heart punch handy and my June kits, and let's go ahead and get started.
Alright, so I'm starting by going through my papers to try to see what paper I might want to punch those little heart banners from and what other papers I might want to use on this layout. So I grabbed a couple of Vicki Boutin papers, and I'm going to use this one that has the notebook printed background because it kind of looks like the book paper that they used in the photo from the mood board. And I'm just cutting these strips. They're about 1 inch by 2 inch, and I thought I could use my heart punch to just punch a heart out of the bottom of these, but I just think it's going to be too tricky, and so I decide to pull out a little heart die, and I have my We Are Memory Keepers little tiny die cut machine here, and I'm just going to die cut the hearts out, and this works really well. And so I'll just do all of those. I don't think I make you watch me do them all. I also wanted to mention I'm using a new trimmer, a new Guillotine trimmer. My daughter broke my We Are Memory Keepers Guillotine trimmer, so I bought the Tonic one, and I absolutely love it. I'll link to it in the video description if you're interested, but I've really been loving it. It cuts like butter. So I'll just run all of these through my little die cut machine here, and then I'll have a bunch of these little banner pieces that I can use for my layout. So here they all are. And I decided to staple the bottoms. I was feeling lazy and I didn't want to stitch on this layout, and so I'm using staples in lieu of stitching in a few different places, and you'll see that later too. But I ran out of staples, so I'm grabbing some more. It always happens when I'm doing a video, it seems like. And then I'm gonna play around with placement with these. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. I didn't think I wanted to do a whole row just straight across, but I wasn't sure, and I decided it would be easier for me to decide once I had my photos. So I printed these photos of my daughter that I took the other day. She's just looking so grown up and so adorable. I can't even handle it. So I decided to kind of put the photos in the middle and split the banner like this, and this is kind of the idea that I end up going with. So I'm going to go ahead and look for something for a title, and I'm pulling out I'm working with all of the kits this month, and so I'm just kind of pulling from all of the different things, trying to think about what might work. I really like that Say Cheese speech bubble. I end up not going with it, but I do like the way it looks a lot, actually. And I don't know, so I tried a few different things. I tried these blue thickers, and I spelled out young lady because I was trying to think about like what I wanted to talk about with this layout. And in the past couple weeks, she just seems so grown up and so cute. Like I said, I can't even handle it. And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I thought, calling this something like she's growing into a gorgeous young lady, or I don't know. I wasn't quite sure, or who is this young lady? And so I was trying to mix some fonts here. I wasn't loving it. I wasn't really loving the young lady either, but I liked this word babe that I found in the Heidi Swapp sticker book, which again is the gift that keeps giving. I love it so much. And she does look like a babe in these photos. Plus she's my babe, my baby. And so I'm going to go with babe, and I will combine it with that word awesome for my title later on. So that's the way I'm going to go. And once I thought about that, I thought I maybe need to get some color on this background. I didn't want to use the plain white, so I decided to go back to the stencil from the color kit, which I really love the intricacy of it. And I'm just putting some light modeling paste through the stencil and gonna clean that up a little bit. I always like to clean my stencils right away, especially intricate ones, so that the modeling paste doesn't dry on it, because it will ruin it. So I've gone ahead and let this dry, and now what I'm doing is I'm taking this Lindy's Stamp Gang Magical Powder, the yellow one, and I'm going to just add a little bit of color to the center of my mixed media little stuff that I did here. So I'm just adding a lot of water with my water brush and spreading out the color and letting it kind of drip, and just want to get a little hint of that yellow on the background. And I sopped it up a little bit because it was feeling a little orangey. That pigment powder is very strong, so you can use a lot of water with it, or just a tiny bit of pigment gives you a lot. So I just wanted to sop a little bit of it up so that it was a little less strong. And now I am going to find some string to put my banner on. I did think about stitching it, but I was feeling lazy. I'm using some really old twine from American Crafts that I just had in my stash, and I'm just going to feed this through my banner. And the banner pieces aren't really staying put on here, and I didn't want the string to show through the hearts or anything like that. And so what I decided to do was to grab my stapler and just staple the tops as well. So there's a staple at the top and the bottom of these little banner pieces, and I think it turned out cute. I think you could do something similar with stitching. Like I said, I was being lazy, so I didn't do that, but excuse me, but you definitely could. So now I've got that little piece, and the string really helps bring it together. So that, I don't know, just visually for me, I felt a lot better about this after I added the string. So I'm adding 5 to one side and 3 to the other, and that is going to create my little banner inspired by the mood board, which I think turned out really cute. And it's really simple to make your own cute little embellishment like this. So I'm going to flip my paper around so that more of that yellow part shows, and I'm just going to play around with it a little bit while I decide how exactly I want this to go. And I'm pretty sure I want it pretty much like that. I'm going to glue down my banner pieces with some liquid glue because I'm using, since some of it's going over the mixed media, I wanted to make sure it was a liquid glue so it would stick. But I'm adding some acrylic blocks on top while it dries so that I can make sure that it stays in place. And then I'm going to cut some of the hearts out of this Vicki Boutin paper that's been so popular. I love this paper, but I haven't used it yet. And so I'm going to end up cutting 5 hearts out, like a pink, a green, a blue, and then a yellow and kind of a yellow green. And I'm going to use them on the layout somewhere. At this point, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I just know I want to use them. And so I'm just fussy cutting them out while I'm waiting for the glue to dry. While I'm waiting for stuff, I often do other things that I know that I want to do while I'm thinking about something or waiting for something to dry or something like that. So I'm going to pop up my photos, and I'm just using some fun foam, sticking it on the back of the photos, and then I'm going to use some scrapbook.com adhesive tape to tape these down. I'm really loving the scrapbook.com adhesive tape because the backing is easy to get off, and I like that. So it's been my favorite. Now, at this point, I was thinking there's only yellow on one side of it, and I need to add some more yellow. So I'm just adding a little bit around the photos using my water brush. And I get some on the bottom of my photos because I wasn't being careful. But I'll end up covering that up so you won't even notice. But I did want a little bit more yellow around, so I just added a little bit. And I didn't add gesso or anything to the back of this paper, so it's just the cardstock. And I'm using the textured cardstock from the kit, or from the cardstock kit. I'm going to pop up the word babe, and then I'm going to put the word awesome next to it. I'm trying to think what I want to do with the hearts. And I decide to kind of put them in a row beneath my photos and kind of fold them up a little bit for some texture. And I really love the way that this turns out. So it's a little rainbow. I think that's good because in the mood board there were lots of rainbows, and I loved adding a little bit of rainbow as a nod to that. Plus, I love rainbow everything, so it just ended up working out. So I'm looking through some of my embellishments now, trying to decide how I might want to add to this layout. I thought about adding some more banner pieces, but I decided against it. There's lots of banners in the Vicki Boutin stuff that are really cute, but I decided against them. I did use that sticker, Loved Beyond Words, which is from the Vicki Boutin stickers. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to get my title down so that it's in place. Once I know that it's going to go there, I stick it down, but sometimes I'm unsure, and so I'll wait for a long time before I adhere things. But in this case, I was pretty sure it was going to go there. So now I'm thinking, what else can I add? I love florals, and so I grabbed these 2 florals off of the sticker sheet and decided to add them. And I really like the way that those end up looking. I wasn't loving the way the E wasn't showing enough on the word awesome, so I moved the word babe down a little bit. I had this sticker that says smile from the Heidi Swapp sticker book, but I didn't use it because in the end it seemed too big and too bright, and it was pulling my eye, and so I just decided not to use it. I do like that cheese sticker, but I think I can't remember if I end up adding that or not. But on the Vicki Boutin chipboard, there was a word there was like a little phrase that said "you are," and so it kind of completed my title. So my title is now "You Are Awesome, Babe." And I should have put a comma after awesome, but I didn't, and it's fine. So I'm adding a few more of those chipboard pieces to the left of the photos, and now I'm taping down the strings for my banner. And I'm going to play around with some embellishment. I had a hard time trying to decide what to use for embellishment at the top of the photos. I could have just left it here, I think, and been done, because it looks pretty done right now, but I didn't. I just felt like I needed to keep going, so I do. I added that little Polaroid camera sticker at the top, and I'm adding a few stickers down at the bottom. There was a black sticker that fit right between the hearts and above Loved Beyond Words, and I think it says I love this. And I'm thinking about using some of those Heidi Swapp stamps, but I don't. And I'm looking through the Vicki Boutin die cuts to see if there's anything from there I want to add, but their die cuts are rather large, and so I feel like if I'm using those die cuts, I need to decide that at the beginning of a layout, not the end. They're not something small that you can just add in. So for a hot second, I thought I might add one of these little hearts to the center of each of the hearts, just like color on color, but it just didn't look right to me, so I took it off. And now I'm looking at these Vicki Boutin puffy stickers, which are super cute. That cheese one is a dimensional one, so it's hard to tell. If you have them, then you know, but the cheese speech bubble pokes out. It's a little more puffy. And so I added that above the photos instead of the cheese die cut or the cheese sticker. So that ended up working out. And then I'm going to add some journaling down below the Loved Beyond Words. And I'm just using my favorite black Muji pen to write my journaling there. And I'm just talking about what I told you at the beginning, that my daughter's looking so grown up and adorable, and I can't handle it, and she's so cute. And then I'm going to stamp the date. I'm on my phone looking up the date that I took the photos, and I'm using this little tiny roller date stamp so that I can use this sticker that is from the Vicki Boutin sticker sheet, and it fit perfectly on that little tab. And I'll link to that roller date stamp. I love it. It's a small one that fits in places that other roller date stamps don't. So just to finish off, I'm adding some black splatters. I got some on the sticker, and then I tried to get it off, and it's like rubbed into the sticker. It's not super noticeable at first, but it drove me crazy. Anyway, the black splatters finished this page, and here are some close-up photos. I hope that you enjoyed this layout. As usual, I will link to products in the video description, and I hope that you'll check out the hip kits. They're always glorious. I'm excited for the July kits that have just been shown, and Hope that you'll check them out. So here at the end of the video, I have a couple other hip kit videos that I've done that you might enjoy. I do have videos up on the Hip Kit YouTube channel that I do not put on my own channel, so be sure to check out their YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you come back again soon.